While America was busy arguing about politics, China quietly did something nobody thought was possible. In a massive shipyard in Dalian, 4 supertankers, each longer than the Empire State Building is tall, were launched into the water at the exact same time. This has never happened in human history. And what's even more shocking, the United States can't build a single one of these ships. Not one. These ships are called VLCCs, Very Large Crude Carriers. They are the giants of the sea. Each one stretches over 1,090 feet long. That's 3 football fields end to end. They stand 20 stories tall from keel to bridge. The deck alone covers 18,000 square meters, bigger than 2.5 American football fields combined. A single one of these tankers carries 1 million barrels of crude oil. That's enough fuel to power the entire state of California for an entire day. And China just launched 4 of them, at the same time, from the same dry dock. The shipyard responsible is called Hengli Heavy Industry. Just 4 years ago, this place barely existed. Today, it's the largest shipbuilding base on planet Earth. In 2025 alone, Hengli received 174 orders worth $16 billion. That's 1 new ship order every 2 days. European shipping companies are lining up. Greek tycoons, Saudi giants, even American oil traders are placing secret orders through third parties because they have no other choice. Why? Because the rest of the world simply cannot build these ships anymore. And nowhere is this more painful than in the United States. Here's the number that should terrify every American policymaker: 92%. 92% of all VLCC orders on Earth in the first quarter of 2026 went to Chinese shipyards. Not most, not the majority, almost all of them. China's order book is now booked solid through 2030. Meanwhile, the United States, the country that once built the Liberty ships that won World War II, produces less than 1% of the world's commercial vessels. American shipyards combined build fewer ships in a year than a single Chinese yard builds in a month. This isn't competition. This is total domination. How did China pull this off? The answer is uncomfortable for the West. Decades ago, American shipyards demanded high wages, faced strict regulations, and slowly priced themselves out of the market. China saw the opportunity and moved in. They built mega shipyards the size of small cities. They trained millions of welders, engineers, and naval architects. They subsidized the industry with billions in state loans. And then they did something American executives never imagined possible. They made their ships better. The new Chinese VLCC, named Empire Hope, was delivered in Dalian this year. It uses a custom-designed 6-cylinder main engine, an exhaust gas desulfurization system, and a hull shape so efficient it cuts fuel consumption dramatically. Even more impressive, the shipyard delivered another tanker 5 months ahead of schedule. American shipyards routinely run years behind. But here's where it gets worse for America. China isn't just building more ships, they're building the future of shipping. The world's first LNG dual-fuel supertanker, built in China. The world's first methanol-powered VLCC, named New Explorer, delivered in 2025. It cuts carbon emissions by 92% and sulfur emissions by 99%. The world's first ammonia-fueled supertanker, currently under construction in China, set to launch in 2028. And then there are the smart tankers, autonomous navigation systems, ship-to-shore data exchange, AI-powered route optimization. China has already delivered an intelligent VLCC called Jinhailiao that can essentially drive itself across oceans. While American politicians argue about tariffs, Chinese engineers are launching ships that don't need humans to steer them. Now here's why this matters for every single American watching this video. Oil tankers aren't just commercial vessels. They are strategic assets. In a conflict, the country that controls the tankers controls the flow of energy. Every barrel of oil that crosses an ocean travels on a ship. And if 92% of those ships are built, maintained, and increasingly operated by China, what happens to America's energy security? What happens to the dollar's grip on global oil trade? the Pentagon has quietly warned that American naval logistics depend on commercial shipbuilding capacity. In World War II, Henry Kaiser's shipyards launched a new Liberty ship every 4 days. Today, the United States cannot replicate that pace, even if it tried. The industrial base is gone. The workforce is gone. The expertise has migrated east. The big question, can the United States catch up? The honest answer is no, not in this decade, not in the next. Rebuilding a shipbuilding industry takes 20 to 30 years. It requires massive capital, government coordination, trained workers, supply chains for steel, engines, electronics, and most importantly, orders. No major shipping company will order from an American yard when a Chinese yard offers the same ship for 40% less, delivered 6 months earlier. The Biden administration tried to revive the industry. The Trump administration has talked about tariffs and incentives. But the math doesn't lie. A Chinese VLCC costs around $120 million. An American-built one, if such a thing even existed today, would cost over $200 million and take twice as long to build. So what does this all mean? It means the era of American industrial supremacy at sea is officially over. China now controls the arteries of global energy. Every gallon of gasoline pumped in America, every plastic bottle in your kitchen, every shipping container at Walmart, sooner or later, it traveled on a vessel that China either built or will soon build. This isn't a story about ships. It's a story about power, about who builds the modern world and who simply consumes it. And right now, the answer is uncomfortably clear. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening in the global power shift, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell.